everyone. Welcome to Bite This. I'm Josh Matthews. He's Dr. Tom. You know, Dr. Tom, this book here, it's called World Wrestling Entertainment Unscripted. I normally don't start the show with shilling for things, but this is really one of the coolest books I've ever seen. I mean, it's called Unscripted because it pretty much is unscripted. It's available this Tuesday on newsstands over here.
Well, you know what? It's showing right through the light. There we go.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's not all crazy and psychedelic. It's white, but the background there picks it up.
Got a lot of great, cool pictures in there. Got a lot of great, cool quotes in there as well, and it does take you on a journey of superstars behind the stage, backstage, and on the road as well.
So pick that up on Tuesday. Lots of things happening right here on Bite This. We got Edge who's going to join us, Scotty, Hotty, but now joining us from his rehab facility. Please welcome Droz. Droz, what's happening today, buddy?
Oh, not too much, man. They're beating me up here pretty good, but it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
Droz, I read your column about the first day, and you had the nurse from hell.
Oh yeah, that's Miss Jackie. She's the Terminatrix. She's had me screaming uncle quite a few. She had me screaming uncle again today, actually, as a matter of fact.
How you feeling, man? You sound like you might be catching a cold or something.
Oh, no, actually, I'm just a little beat up here. I'm actually kind of leaning back on a couple wedges here. I'm actually in the therapy room right now. I'm like halfway in between doing one of my physical therapy sessions, so I'm actually on a little break. I just got done bouncing a balloon around a little bit there, man. The little things you think of and take for granted, man. It's interesting to try to do when you're in this condition, but you got to do them to work things out.
Well, Josh, can you give the fans a little bit of an idea of what you're going through, what your rehab consists of, how this arrangement came about, everyone listening on WWE.com today?
Well, actually, I've been thinking about it for quite some time. I've been doing some rehab at home more off and on, which I should have been doing, a lot more. The whole, Christopher Reeves thing they had on 2020 talking about, where he was rehabbing and everything, and he comes up to St. Louis actually off and on, and he's dealt with the doctors here. And back in January, I was going to try to get up here, but I had some things going on, so finally able to get up here, and it's been interesting. I'm doing a lot of things that, I haven't done, I haven't done, since I've been hurt, and, they had me on the recumbent bike where they hook up electrodes, to your legs and actually your buttocks to try to, get stimulation in the muscles and, try to get them moving. And they're getting some stimulation there, and they still have to kind of pedal for me. But it's interesting watching your legs move, since I, move like that on a bike, and I haven't, really done that in over 4 years. And a lot of different things. And things are going well. They're beating me up real good out here.
So at least, I mean, that's a good thing. You're feeling it.
Yeah.
And you're right now, I guess the condition would be you're going to stay in St. Louis for a while, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stay out here for a while. I guess I've been here. I'm into my second week here, and things are going well. But I'm gonna probably stay out here for a while. I really don't know how long. Probably at least another month, and see how things are going, progressing, and then kind of get my house set up to where I really need to have it with equipment and things like that, and kind of go from there. But things are going well right now, and just trying. They had me up at 5:06 this morning, getting up. I had to do called a bone density test, and so I've been up since then. And well, besides Doc, I'm a night person anyway, so I didn't sleep much anyway last night. So it's been a long day.
Here's a shocking statement, Droz. I heard that your roommate is a wrestling fan.
Oh yes, there's actually quite a few wrestling fans here. It's entertaining, talking to people, but about wrestling and about what's going on these days, and a lot of people are into a lot of the older people talk about old school wrestling and things like that. So I'm actually getting a broad view of different people and what they enjoy with wrestling.
Hey, Droz, let me ask you this, because I know the kind of person you are, and I was instrumental in the beginning of your career in your training and things like this. And when this first happened to you, it was devastating to all of us, and you mostly, of course. But since, I guess it's been, 4 years now, as you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. As this goes by, what kind of feelings are you having now that you're in St. Louis and you get to see other people who've kind of been through the same thing you have, and they see you, and again, you've always been an optimistic and very positive person. Everybody that you've ever come in contact with has said that. And how has your attitude or what is your attitude these days, especially being where you are?
Oh, it's real positive. I mean, out here there's people in all different kinds of conditions, and I mean, there's actually a 12-year-old boy here named Jeffrey who I talked to a while last night. And I mean, he's a young kid, and I couldn't imagine being in that situation. But he is, he's a really positive kid. I was in his room last night for about an hour talking with him, and he's just looking forward to doing all this stuff. And I wish in the beginning I kind of would have had that attitude, but I figure I didn't do a lot of things at the start, but I got to. It was about time I got going. So you got to do it when you can.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We were talking with Edge and Scotty Hotty today, who have both had neck surgery, and of course we reiterate to everybody out there at home: don't try this at home or try it in the backyard.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, what's your reaction, Draws? Because I know you probably hear about this as well. When you hear about kids doing the backyard wrestling.
Well, I mean, I actually, I get a lot of emails from kids talking about that. And, I've actually got a lot of emails also, with positive things here. But, when I get emails like that, I try to get back to the kids and just let them know that, people think it's fun and games, but, you see that, we're trained professionals and bad things do happen. And they happen to people in everyday life. But, I mean, to take chances out there in the backyard and to see things that people are doing, I mean, it's definitely not worth it. I know these kids think, a lot of them, that they can get into wrestling this way. We have Cactus Jack who got in it that way, but if you look at the wrestling industry and who's involved in it, nobody really came from that type of background. Everybody worked their ass off, and they went and they trained and they wrestled more, and then they got into the business. And that's how you need to go about things. And, with these kids, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to get things through kids' heads anyway. But, I'm a prime example. We're professionals, and I ended up with a broken neck, and I'm, paralyzed from the chest down. And things can happen anyway. But, it's just, like you said, don't try this at home. I know we reiterate that all the time, but I just wish sometimes they'd listen.
Yeah, Josh, you hit the nail right on the head there. I mean, the superstars of the WWE are trained professionals, and sometimes, unfortunately enough, accidents, they do happen, and they are trained professionals, so that does happen. So, this is the Don't Try This at Home edition of Bite This, and it will be reiterated, I'm sure, throughout the hour. Reiterated, Dr. Tom, first day with my new tongue.
Fantastic.
Well, yeah. Draws, listen, it's great talking to you. Dr.
Well,
Tom,
I was just going to say, before
ahead.
You hang up, if you would, off the air, I don't know if you have a phone number there or if you have something where you can get in touch with you. Oh, Phil's telling me he does. Because I'd like to call you. I know, like I said, you're not in Mays Landing anymore, Toto, so maybe I can give you a call in St. Louis.
Yeah, Doc, definitely, man. I know I have. Yeah, you know what? Are you going to be around later?
Yeah, actually, I'm going back to the office right after the show.
You have an office?
Okay, I'm heading. I'll be back to my room probably about 4, which is 5 your time, and I know I have your home number. I'm pretty sure
I'll give you a call. How about that?
I'll give a yell.
Yeah, sounds great.
I'll give a yell, man.
Okay, man.
Let's compensate.
Hey,
Let's do
you
a
guys tell Edge and Scotty after today.
Okay, thanks, Josh. We'll do a three-way.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Phone call.
Right.
Phone call.
Yeah.
All right, you guys be good.
Yeah,
See you,
all right.
Draws.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Yeah, it's always good to talk to Draws. I'm glad that we finally got in touch with him because last week was the first week.
I didn't mean three-way. I meant like three-way call.
Yeah, I knew what you meant, man.
That's what I meant.
Why don't we go to your office and do it?
I don't have an office.
Yeah,
Lots
you do.
going
You
on
got a
here
good
today.
office, man.
Lots going on here today on Bite This. Give us a call, 1-888-LIVE-WWE, or, of course, joining us on your monitors at WWE.com. Scotty Hotty, who has recently made his return to SmackDown, is going to be here. Edge is going to be here. We haven't seen in a long time. You can hear Edge for the first time in a long time. Taz is going to be here. Lots going on.
We'd love to hear from Taz again this week. And, of course, we have Taz on the phone now.
No,
Scotty,
we have
sorry.
A man who just recently made his return to SmackDown after a long time off. I'm sure all the fans are waiting to hear from this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Scotty Hotty. How are you doing, Scotty?
I'm the next best thing to Taz.
No, you are the best thing to be on the show today, man. I thought because Taz hasn't been on in a couple weeks, and, of course, it's Josh here always saying that he kicked Taz's ass every week.
Scotty, you gotta understand that this show does not run smoothly, ever. It doesn't run like a well-oiled machine. Not the technical side's not to blame. Dr. Tom and myself, we take full blame for it every week. Scotty, it's great to see you back in the WWE. How does it feel to be back on SmackDown?
It feels good. Everything feels good. I'm still getting my win back, but other than that, I'm back to normal. I think as normal as I can be.
Well, you know, I saw you down at OVW, and you look great. Looked like you were getting back in ring shape, which, of course, it has to feel a little, maybe, I don't know if this is the right word or not, but maybe a little apprehensive when you get in there at first because you're not quite sure how you're going to feel when you take that first bump. Have you got over that stage yet?
Not really. It's still, I still think about it before I go out there and after I'm out there. But you know, the funny thing is when I'm out there, it never crosses my mind. Not once has it, you know. But definitely before, and definitely things you don't want to be taking a steel chair to the head or any pile drivers right yet, or probably ever again.
Right.
You know, but I just have to be careful and try to get some mileage out of what I've got left. You know.
Right. Did you ever think when you were first starting out here in WWE that you would have Stone Cold Steve Austin's first match?
Not really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that you have, and now that you've, both of you have actually experienced the same type of injuries here in WWE, I would think that possibly you would understand a little bit what Stone Cold went through as well from taking pile drivers and chair shots, something you have to be a lot more careful with.
Yes, definitely. You know, I think, and I think a big part of it was just a lot of whiplash. You know, and I think the guys are taking a lot more bumps than what a lot of the older guys did. You know, and more on a nightly basis than they did before. So, and more tables to go through, and that all adds up after a while.
Scotty, let me ask you this. How does it feel to be back on the road with the WWE? I mean, I've said it before on Bite This, and I'm going to say it again right now. No one works harder than the superstars in World Wrestling Entertainment. Are you making the adjustments? I mean, you were on the road for such a long time. You knew how it went. But how does it feel to be back now, full-time on the road?
Oh, I'm still adjusting. You know, I'd get into the habit while I was off of, getting up at 9 o'clock and going to bed, before midnight. Now it's back into the old catch a flight, get up at 4 or 5 in the morning to catch a flight, and then go to bed at 3 in the morning.
Right. And we understand that you have a new baby girl too back home. Is it difficult leaving her at home while you're on the road?
That's definitely the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
It just breaks your heart. To leave that first day is definitely the hardest day. But once you get past that first day, then you're counting the days till you get home and see her again. So
you like being a father, huh?
It's the best thing that's ever happened.
Wow, very cool. You did spend some time in OVW for a while, and you got the chance to see some of our new prospects for WWE. Anybody really stand out in your mind?
Oh, definitely. A guy they just brought in was Big John. He's definitely got a look. And trying to think who else.
Matt Morgan.
Matt Morgan was definitely, definitely going to be a superstar. What the guy's been working like a year or something like that. So Nick Dinsmore's another guy.
Ernest the Cat Miller.
Oh
no, not really.
Well, you know what, Scotty. Ernest and Josh are the best of friends and former
broadcast partners, colleagues.
Yes.
Scotty, you want to take some phone calls?
Sure.
All right, let's go to Rachel calling from Connecticut, where we are located. Rachel, you're on the phone with Scotty Hotty.
Hi, Scotty.
Hey, Rachel in Connecticut.
I just wanted to say that I've been a fan for almost 5 years, and I was really glad to see you return.
Thank you.
My question is, with the possibility of another neck injury being more damaging to your career, what was your motivation to come back?
Oh, it's just this is what I do. There was never a doubt that should I come back or shouldn't I? But this has always been my dream, and I'm living my dream, and this is what I know and what I do. So that's really it.
Very good. There is an email from Shannon of Radford, Virginia, who wants to know if you feel any jealousy towards the neck surgery that Kurt Angle had, which allowed him to come back in 2 months.
Not really jealousy. I'm anxious to see how it works out, and I hope it works out. But I wouldn't have wanted to have been Kurt being the first guy going into this guy, into Dr. Joe. Like I've said all along, I hope it works out for him. But man, he was out for such a short time, and it just sounded too good to be true. But I hope it works.
Right, and if it does work, and I mean, if Kurt does last, then this could be a new revolutionary thing in the world of sports entertainment. I mean, eventually, it's sad to say, but eventually every superstar in the WWE is probably going to need neck surgery the way these guys break up and destroy their bodies. And, Dr. Joe fixes you up, and 2 months later, you're back in the ring.
Well, Scotty, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, what, in your opinion, could be done here in WWE, for instance, to maybe cut back on the amount of neck injuries that we've had over the past, 3 years, 4 years?
Right. I think it's just a matter of slowing down, and I hate to sound like an old timer or whatever.
You are an old timer, man.
But, guys used to tell me that back when I was starting out, and I would think, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just a bunch of old guys, and it's so true. It's just about guys want to go out there and just kill themselves.
We got
Hello?
Scotty there?
Yes.
Okay, we're starting to start. I told you things don't run smoothly here on Bite This, but let's go back to the emails. We got one from Chris of Illinois, and I'm sure it's a question that's on everybody's mind. Do you think that you and Grandmaster Sexy will ever get back together and start Too Cool again?
Actually, I worked a couple of shows with him maybe a month ago. It was the first time we'd done anything in about 2.5 years. As far as WWE, I'm sure, the possibility's always there, it could happen, definitely.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to see Too Cool back together again.
Yeah, that would be really cool, Scotty. But let me ask you this: what's even more cool? Did you get a chance to go to Disneyland or Disney World or any other outstanding amusement parks while you were recovering?
Oh, definitely. Actually, I just came from there about an hour ago.
Oh, yeah, very good. How does the roller coaster work on your neck, man?
I have to be careful. I can only ride certain ones, and my wife will usually test them out for me and let me know if I can do it if I haven't done that one before. But usually the ones here at Disney World, they're okay. They're not too rough. Yeah, we actually just bought a house about 10 minutes from Disney World, so it works out well for me.
Very nice.
Let's go back to the phones. We got Matt calling from Staten Island. Matt, you're on the phone with Scotty Too Hotty.
Yes. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, Matt.
Go ahead, Matt. What's your question?
Yeah, I want to know how you injured and who caused it.
It wasn't one person. It was just a matter of a lot of bumps over about 12 years. So it just added up. A lot of whiplash and not really one particular thing.
Well, I think, again, the wear and tear on your body, and as you said, a lot of old-timers told you, maybe slow down, kids, you might have a long future ahead of you. Now that you've had a taste of that, we did talk about it just a little while ago. Would that be your advice to future superstars coming up?
Definitely. I see these guys just like doing all these dives and killing themselves and all these bumps, and none of them really mean a whole lot, I think with this Scotty Too Hotty character and the worm and the breakdance and stuff, and the reaction that I get from that, and I'm not injuring myself at all. That's when I really learned. Up until that point, I was killing myself and trying to get some attention from the powers that be.
So less is more, huh?
Exactly.
Outstanding.
Scotty, this is more or less a don't try this at home edition of Bite This. Do you have anything to say to the kids at home who are doing this in their backyards, who are doing it, wrestling, in their living rooms and their family rooms? Any advice or what would you say to these kids who are doing this at home, trying to get into this business?
Oh, I'd be kind of hypocritical if I said anything at all, because that's what I did. That's kind of how I got into it. But just be careful, and don't kill yourself. Don't set yourselves on fire. Don't hit each other with light bulbs, because that's not what we do,
Cool.
Yeah.
Want to go back to the phone?
Let's go back to the phone.
We got Laura calling from Bangor, Maine. Bangor, Laura, you're on the phone with Scotty Too Hotty.
Hi, Scotty.
Hello.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good. I just want to know who that's wrestling now that you haven't wrestled before would you really want to wrestle?
Oh, probably Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
Have you ever had the opportunity to be in the ring with Rey?
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
And he's one guy that I'd really like to work with.
I'd definitely like to see that match. Laura, thank you very much for the question. Scotty Too Hotty, thank you very much for your time here on Bite This, and I'm sure all the fans of the WWE all the fans of SmackDown are excited about seeing you back and seeing the future of Scotty Too Hotty here in the WWE.
Thank you, guys.
You bet.
Thanks, Scotty.
Good luck.
Thanks,
Hey,
Dr. Tom.
You bet.
Goodbye.
Phil.
Goodbye.
I'm just
Goodbye.
curious.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's my new way of saying goodbye.
Why don't you just say goodbye and leave?
Goodbye.
Okay.
Because Phil Spear makes me stay here.
Spear.
Makes me stay here till 5 o'clock.
Phil, is the instant feedback room working? Or
Yeah, we're not getting any feedback
I'm just curious,
here on the
because
instant
it's
feedback
how to
room
call in that
of
it says, Furnham's
WWE.com.
or something like that. I'm
WWE.com.
just
We got
curious.
two people. We got this guy here who
And that
just
guy,
keeps
yeah.
putting in his
Yeah.
website. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say what it is.
Yeah.
And this other guy who says, "How do I call
What do
in?"
you
You
mean,
call in at
Josh
888
Naked?
W Live WWE.
JoshNaked.com,
That's the
that's
phone
his
number.
website?
No, I don't get
Okay.
paid for that.
Well, I know.
So, Dr. Tom, you know
Yes.
what were you for Halloween?
What was I for Halloween? I was a passenger on a plane.
Really?
Yeah.
So, were you dressed up like a plane and you were inside of it?
Well, kind of.
Or you were like actually physically
I was
inside of
physically a
plane?
passenger on
On
a plane.
Halloween?
Yeah.
Did you go trick or treating up and down
No.
the aisle? When they came
That's
to bring you,
ridiculous.
when they
No.
came to bring you a drink and the little candy, did you say trick or treat?
No.
So you just sat there.
Yes.
So you didn't do anything. What were your kids for Halloween? Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll see the pictures. one
Yeah,
day.
sure I will. I'll see the
Okay.
picture.
I was a scarecrow.
You are a scarecrow.
That's what I was for
Yeah,
Halloween.
You know what you ought to be, man?
What?
Maybe you should be like an invisible man.
I don't know how to do that.
Work on it.
To be invisible.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If I could be invisible.
Why don't you be like mute? Did you know Brother Love had surgery this week?
I did. I did
Brother
know. Brother,
Love
why don't you tell us what happened?
You know what, man? He had to get his tonsils out, his vocal cords.
Wait.
And oh, wait a minute.
Man.
I'm glad the mood's about to change because my mood was really getting bad there for a second.
Can I take a break?
No. Go ahead.
Come on, let's
tell
take a
Taz
break.
what you were talking about before we went on air.
I wasn't, ladies and gentlemen, as you can hear by the music, it's time for Tales from the Hook here on Bite This. Please welcome my very good friend, Taz.
Yes, Josh, this is the part of the show where it's called Josh Gets the Rub.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, Taz.
What's up, Dr. Tom?
How are you?
You know, I think it's really sad that, you guys are talking about Brother Love, and he had an operation this week, and next thing you know, we hear an EKG machine and my music hits. That's like, what is that? I don't think Brother Love would appreciate.
Oh, that's very apropos, man. That's very apropos. I actually called him 2 days in a row and said, hey, can I talk to him? And his wife said no, because he's not allowed to utter a word for 10 days straight. And then after that, he's not really supposed to be talking much for the next 3 months, which I'm sure really disappoints a lot of people. Yeah.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, yeah. So, it's great. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good. It's a very gloomy, miserable, rainy day here in the Hook, but I wouldn't want it any other way, Tom. You know that.
I sure do. You know what? We're taking a look at a picture of you and chocolate syrup.
I'm not saying nothing.
No, but I tell you, man, how could you get mad about something like that?
No, well, Dr. Tom, I mean, this ain't the first time I've been dipped in chocolate.
Right.
That's the first time I've been dipped in chocolate on TV, though. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, my sex life is crazy, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
So, and then not for nothing. I mean, the only reason why, I mean, Tori pushed me. I could have kind of stopped myself. I'm a very, extremely powerful man.
Yes.
And, but, I figured, you know what? Dawn Marie was in there. She was half naked in the thing, and you never knew what was dripping around there. So, you know what? Hey, might as well take a little dip in the pool, you know what I mean? Definitely wasn't the first, I'll tell you that one.
Yeah, okay. That's great. Well, yeah, was that chocolate or was that, never mind.
Actually, no, it really was. It was,
Yeah.
it was legit Hershey chocolate, and wasn't that bad. I mean, can't wear that suit ever again.
No.
I like chocolate.
That's great. Well, I don't like you.
Yes, you do, Taz. Everyone says that Taz doesn't like me. They
know
always
what?
tell him that he doesn't like me, but he really does.
Yeah, I happened to see Josh and Cole in the gym the other day, and I said something to Michael Cole about the fact that Josh was getting more like him every day, and then I don't want to stooge anybody off, but Michael Cole's the one that said that, no, you broke him in the business, Taz. You taught him business. So nobody wants to take
No one wants to take credit for me.
responsibility.
That's really nice.
I'll take credit for Al Snow and myself breaking Josh in from a physical term, from a wrestling physical term. Okay, I mean, Josh, we don't get to see Josh in the ring, but I would stand behind his in-ring work without a problem. The kid can go. I personally thought he should have won the competition, but Al Snow's the one who said no, it should be Maven. I mean, I don't want to say that publicly, but I have. But anyway,
Yeah, I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, I mean, the kid can go in the ring. I mean, I just wish we've seen that more. But that being said, now, see, Michael Cole, he's breaking Josh in a physical sense in a different manner.
Yes.
So we'll leave that, some things are better left off and said. Josh is just, Michael Cole's hated. Internationally he's hated.
Yeah.
And I hate him also. And Josh is getting the proverbial bad rub from Cole behind the scenes.
Oh,
that's
I got
just my
you.
opinion,
Yes.
So, Taz.
My name's not Pat, it's Taz.
I said Taz.
Oh, it sounded like you said Pat. I'm like, who's Pat? I don't know Pat.
No, this week on Bike This, we're kind of doing a Don't Try This at Home edition. We're going to try to have themes.
So wait, basically the way you host a show, don't try this at home.
Yes. Yes.
Well, and what we're doing is we're going to start to have themes every week. This week it's going to be, don't try this at home. Can you tell us a little bit about the day-to-day?
Why is this company, the WWE, so wrapped up in this whole theme thing? Why? Everything's always a theme. There's a theme.
Next week I'm not going to be here. It's going to be with Bradshaw. It's going to be the theme of take Josh's head off with his clothesline.
That'll be tremendous.
Yes. No, me and Bradshaw are very good friends, actually.
Yeah, no, you're not. I mean, actually, I'm going to quote Bradshaw.
No, you're not.
If Josh, as far as his announcing skills, got any better, it'd be an improvement.
I just go by the words that Bradshaw says that if hiring me was like losing 3 good men.
Yeah, that's even a better one.
Very true.
Yeah, that's what Bradshaw tells me. Anyway, Taz, can we get back on the theme of the show, please?
Yeah. What's the question?
The question is
choice A.
Okay. Did you consider when you first got into this business that you were going to sacrifice your long-term health? And the follow-up to that is it worth it?
Yes, to both.
Okay.
I knew that I knew that my body would be hurting years from when I started because I wasn't as big as a lot of the other guys. So I knew I'd have to, take more bumps than the average wrestler. And, of course, my high-flying arsenal when I was a competitor, I mean, everybody knows what that was about. High-risk taker. You know that.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I got a nosebleed when I got in the top rope, too.
Yeah.
No.
But was it worth it? Yeah, sure. I loved what I did. I loved the ring and wrestling and doing my thing and stuff like that. All the years I did it, and I wrestled all over, and I had a ball doing it. And sure, does my body, feel like I'm 95 years old? Absolutely.
Right.
Does it suck at times? Absolutely.
But Taz, I mean, you need neck surgery like today.
Yeah, well, I needed neck surgery like two months ago. But yeah, you're right. My neck's shot. But still, I mean, listen. To be honest with you, my family, my wife, and obviously my son. He's going to have a lot more. He has a lot more now than I ever had as a kid. And that's what, in my opinion, that's what it's about. You go out there and work hard, no matter if you're a wrestler or a truck driver, a professional baseball player or a doctor, a lawyer, or a guy who digs holes for a living. I feel, this is maybe my old school ethics and the way I was raised, that you bust your tail because you love to do what you do, and or for your family, for your future, for your children. And that's what I did. And, I don't, I mean, my child is not being raised like I was raised. I was raised in a horrible place, and I didn't want that for my kid. And I worked my ass off to not have that for him. We live in the good part of Red Hook, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's why you're a vigilante moonlighting too, right?
Well, I'm trying to do good for the world, my friend.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very
Just
nice.
like you kill towns anytime you go to one.
Yeah.
Same type of thing,
I kill all the girls in the towns.
Let's move on, Josh.
Yeah.
All right, well, Edge is going to be joining us in a little while, Taz.
Who?
Edge.
Oh, Edge.
Yeah.
I love Edge. Good guy.
Yeah, we haven't seen.
I saw Edge.
Okay.
Oh, it's my grammar on that.
Is
I
it saw or
not seen.
is it saw or seen?
It's saw.
Are you sure?
I don't know. It just sounds.
Phil?
Does anybody else know that? I mean, anybody is
No, Phil Spirit. Does anybody know if it's saw or seen?
Yeah, he saw.
There you go. Thank
Yeah.
you, Tom. You're a Texan, you know.
It's his story. Come on.
Anyway, I saw Edge at the last wedding I was at, actually, and Edge looked great.
The last? What, do you go to a lot of weddings?
Well, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm sure Taz goes to weddings. I saw Edge at Steve Kern's wrestling school too. Just wanted to get back in shape and move around. And you're right, he does look great. But one of the things that we've been asking a lot of people who've either had neck surgery or need neck surgery is, how would you feel about going to Kurt Angle's doctor, Dr. Joe, and maybe getting that surgery? Do you even see that in your future?
Yeah, it's definitely in my future. I just don't know. I just don't know when. I'm basically just my deal is like Dr. Joe, we're in Pittsburgh, definitely could help me. I believe, but my major problem is like my spinal cord is like extremely inflamed, so they wouldn't be able to. There's really not too many surgeons that would even want to touch me, because my spinal cord is really badly inflamed. So we're trying to get that inflammation down in my spinal cord because it's real sensitive, you know. So but if I was, I mean, I couldn't physically wrestle. I mean, if I was still an active wrestler, I wouldn't be. I couldn't. I'd be crippled. I mean, I can't. You know what I mean? I'm shot.
And Taz, if you did have surgery, you'd have to take time off from being mayor of Red Hook, right? I understand that the elections were Friday and you won. You're the mayor now, right?
Yes, I am the mayor of Red Hook. Thank you. I'd like a round of applause from the studio over there.
Yes.
Arnold is a baffling foreigner. I am a red-blooded Brooklyn American. So if Arnold Schwarzenegger can do it, I figured, you know what? I'm going to run for mayor of Red Hook. Joey Numbers is my campaign manager. Wait a minute, is it me? Do I still have a campaign manager being at I Won Already?
Well, he could become like part of your cabinet or something.
Well, he's in the cabinet. Okay. Well, no, you would be in the cabinet. You're good in the closet. So,
yeah.
Hey, Taz, you want to take a phone call?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm making a pot of macaroni right now, but yeah, I'll take a phone call.
Okay. Holly from Connecticut, you're on the phone with Taz. Go.
Hey, Taz. I just want to tell you, first of all, how much I enjoy you every week on SmackDown. You totally rock.
Thank you very much.
Do you think the quality of some of the matches, particularly like the Rey Mysterio cruiserweight types of matches, have suffered somewhat since they've been trying to make them less high risk due to all the injuries?
No, I don't. It's not like Vince McMahon himself is saying, guys, I don't want you guys taking risk in the ring. That doesn't go down, you know. You kind of have to realize that the industry, the guys in the ring, they're different athletes now. The guys are a lot faster, they're a lot stronger. Guys are trying different high-risk type of moves and stuff, and the injuries are a lot higher than they were years ago. And so many of our, all of our guys are getting neck surgery. And I don't care how big of a wrestling fan you are. I'm sure fans don't want to hear about some of their favorite superstars having neck surgery. So that being said, the cruiserweights, I think they just bring a different dynamic to the ring because of the speed that they move and stuff, and because of the different spots they can do. I don't think they need to go crazy and kill them or attempt to kill themselves out there. And perception is reality. If that's what we're selling you, that these guys are out there going nuts, then that's what you're going to believe. That's how I see it. That's how I look at it. And I don't think that any of our cruiserweights lately have risked themselves in the sense of, a neck injury or a spinal cord injury. But you got to understand the amount of these guys on the road. I mean, 250, 260 days a year, these guys are humping the road, and they're putting their bodies out there, not just the cruiserweights, but the heavyweights too.
Holly, thank you very much for the question. Taz, you ever think someone like maybe Rey Mysterio or Jamie Noble could be the WWE champion?
Do I think so?
Yeah, it's just
why not? I mean, why not? I feel, this is my personal opinion, that any man can beat any man at any time. And no matter how big or small you are, my whole career was driven that way. I mean, I'm 5'8", and I was a two-time world heavyweight champion. So, I mean, to me, look at Bret Hart, look at Shawn Michaels. I mean, Kurt Angle is not a giant, but granted, he's a gold medal winner and the greatest in the world, but Kurt Angle is, four-time WWE champion, I believe it is. I mean, yep. and he's pushing 6 foot. Mm-hmm. So I feel that it's like a fight, like Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet for years and years and years. I still don't think many people want to cross Mike Tyson in a street fight, and he's pushing 5'10". Right. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, Vinny Pazienza, I don't know if you guys remember him. He was a great boxer.
The Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah, man, and that guy was about 5'6". I met him one time, and he was about $165 soaking wet. and boy, he would knock an SOB out in a heartbeat. So I mean, it don't matter how big a guy is, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
And you can go down the list with other sports too. Look at guys like Barry Sanders, who played for the Detroit Lions, was one of the greatest running backs of all time.
That's true. I mean, that's a great point. I mean, even like Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan's one of the greatest pitchers ever, and he's only like 4'2". Oh yeah, it's true. A lot of people don't realize that about Nolan. He's really short. He just has like extensions in his tibia bone.
Yeah, and the mound makes you look bigger than you really are.
It boosts you up. I mean, at least 10, 12 feet. Sure, no doubt.
Josh wants to be on a mound right now.
No, Taz is...
Good.
Taz, well, on that note, Taz, is there anything else that you'd like to get off your chest on this Thursday afternoon?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing. I got to shave my chest later, so I'll get some hair off my chest.
And Taz, make sure you watch Velocity on Saturday night, because I have a special message for you on Saturday.
Well, Josh, I will watch Velocity, and be careful what you say.
No, you know I have something I need to get off my chest that needs to be said to you on Saturday night, and it's going to be said.
It's something that you owe me. And by golly, it's about time the youth of America does the right thing.
That's what's going to happen.
All right, great then.
All right. Thanks, Taz.
See you.
Goodbye. Yeah, I gotta do something.
Special message, huh?
Yeah, I gotta do something for Taz on Velocity on Saturday.
Tremendous.
Yeah, I said something last week on Velocity that shouldn't have been said.
And he caught you with it.
And he caught me with it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you can't slide that stuff in
No,
there.
no, you really can't. So, this week on Velocity, I will have something to say to Taz. Well, Phil? Oh, I'm sorry. Phil has board and stuff for me to read and
yeah,
look at
but
it
you're
and then go from
kind
there.
of hard as
After
reading,
Taz breaks SmackDown. Oh, I was there. This was in Chicago, Illinois.
It was in Boston.
It was?
Yeah.
I was there when Hogan, or when I think they teamed up for the first time.
Edge came back one time.
That's where I came and teamed up with Hogan.
This one they won the tag team titles.
Oh, all right. Well, let's not keep everyone in the dark, Dr. Tom.
No, let's
this
not.
is the July 4th, 2002 edition of SmackDown that we're going to show you now. This is Hulk Hogan and Edge winning the tag team titles. And Phil says it wasn't in Chicago, and I believe him it wasn't. But let's take a look. Come on.
All right. So,
Oh my God, I'm on the phone and we're back, Dr. Tom.
Yeah. Here.
Okay.
Hang up.
Oh, hey.
All right. Good. What
You
a
just
great
hung
win
up.
for
I was on the phone.
Edge and Hulk Hogan winning the WWE Tag Team Championship. And of
Yeah,
course,
that was July 4th, 2002. Edge and Hulk Hogan winning the tag team championships, as you just pointed out.
You don't need to
Dr.
talk on the
Tom.
phone.
Well, it was in the middle of a break.
It doesn't matter.
I saw that episode of SmackDown July 4th.
Maybe everybody else didn't.
Happy birthday, America! Edge and Hulk Hogan were the tag team champions. And now Edge has been out of action for almost what? What would you say? How long has it been since we've
Why
seen
don't you
Edge?
have another piece of pizza? It's almost it's not quite a year yet. I realize that Edge is chewing at the bit to get back, and again, it's one of those things that when you're laid up with an injury, all you really have to do is sit around and think about what's going on in your profession. And obviously, Edge has been giving us updates on WWE.com, giving us some education, and I'm looking forward to getting some education from Edge today on Bite This.
Really? That's
Yeah,
what you're
really.
looking for, Dr. Tom?
You know what else I'm looking for is you to leave.
Where am I going
For
to
you
go?
to go home.
Where am
Maybe
I
go
going
to
to
the
go?
bar, get
Where-
drunk and fall down.
It's not time to go to a bar yet. It's only 4:45. We got another couple hours.
It is 4:45,
Please, Dr.
huh?
Tom.
You're great.
What do you mean? That's I keep my clock there, so I have a running total of anyway, Dr. Tom, this is enough of this, because right now, waiting to talk to us, waiting to talk to everyone on WWE.com is a man that I'm sure everyone is waiting to listen to. So without further ado, please welcome Edge. Hello, Edge.
Hello, Josh. Your voice is like nails on a chalkboard.
Really?
Yes, thank
Wow.
you. Edge, how are you today, man?
I'm ready to kick Josh Matthews right in the teeth. That's what I'm ready to do.
You
Doc.
know what I feel like every week, man. We have Bradshaw here next week, man.
Bradshaw loves me, though. Me and Bradshaw are very close.
Yeah. Have you? By the way, speaking of Bradshaw, I really enjoy reading your education columns each week. But I don't know if you got a new one up or not. But my new column, by the way, talks about Bradshaw and the country state of mind.
Really?
Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to have a new one up this week. I didn't get one up last week. I have to admit, I slacked off because they put me on the road this weekend. So. And then I had to go to San Antonio, which I just got back from today. So,
oh, great.
Been kind of running around.
Yeah, fantastic.
Edge, I'm sorry, Dr.
No,
Tom.
go ahead, please.
I was going to ask you, Edge, how did your doctor's appointment go today? And the number one email question that we got here on WWE.com is, when will Edge be back?
When? That seems to be the burning question. He told me finally yesterday. I got my clearance yesterday to be able to get back in the ring as of today. So, I mean, nothing too spectacular or intense or anything, but just kind of tumbling around and doing some Mexican rolls and things like that, I guess. And then after that, a month worth of kind of getting used to bumping again. Then he said to get together with somebody like Benoit, who knows what I'm going through, because he's been through it, and try and pick up the intensity. And then from there, head to Louisville for about a month, and then WrestleMania.
How crazy has it been for you to sit back and watch SmackDown and Raw, if you do indeed watch both shows, on TV and not be able to participate?
It's hard. It's pretty hard. I mean, at first, I knew, the condition I was in, there was no choice. I had to get done what I got done. So you're sitting there in a hard collar, and it was, it wasn't as difficult then because I realized, okay, I'm really out of the loop here, so I don't really have a choice. But now that I feel good again, now that I feel my strength's back up, I feel like I could get in there tomorrow. I probably suck, but I could still get in there. And so now it's starting to get frustrating and kind of bouncing off the walls quite a bit, going stir crazy now.
Edge, I mentioned that the number 1 email we got was when you're going to be back. The number 2 email we got was that there's a rumor going around that you cut your hair. Can you please just clarify whether you did or you didn't for all the fans out there?
I did not. Well, I lopped off a few inches, but it's still long. I still have a pretty unruly mop on top of my head.
Outstanding.
See, we just clarify rumors on Bite This. That's
See, there you go. The hair is still there. I guess that was from my column. I made a joke that I had cut it off. And then right in the very next line, I said, only joking, and everyone assumed that I was joking about joking or something. I don't know. So
well,
it's still there.
The credo that we all live by is we don't want to rib. We don't rib and we don't want to be ribbed. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, let's go to the phones now. The phones are ringing off the hook here. Business couldn't get done at WWE offices today because everyone was calling to talk to Edge. So let's go now. We got Jenny calling from Cambridge, Ontario. Jenny, you're on the phone with Edge. Go.
Hello.
Hello.
Saw you Saturday night. Your hair still looks great. Don't worry about it. My question is, my brother's an independent wrestler. Is it easier now or back when you got started to get noticed?
Well, I think there was more places to go when I started. That doesn't necessarily mean that it was easier to get noticed, but there was just more places to go and kind of cut your teeth and get experience. I'm so far out of that loop now. That was almost 13 years ago now, so I don't really know what it's like now. But it just seems like there's not as many places to go and just try and get experience.
Well, that's for sure. I think one thing that is missing today is just getting that invaluable experience. And I was actually talking to somebody today, Edge, about what they would tell a young person wanting to get in the business and what they would tell somebody who is a rookie right now. And what came out of this person's mouth was, where's the ambition, where's the drive for the young guys today? And I think that you always had that up until your injury. And do you think you can refine that once you come back?
Oh, definitely. I know I'm consumed by this business. Even the whole time I've been off, I go to sleep thinking about it, wake up thinking about it. So, and I think anyone who's truly successful and makes it up to that top level has to be that way. And I think there's probably still all kinds of kids out there that are that way, that, this is their dream and they're going to do it. It's just now I think it's probably harder for them to do it. And, you look at rookie guys coming in now, and they just don't have the experience that some of us had and guys way before me had, because you don't have as many people to work. You don't get in there with people less experienced than you, let alone people more experienced. And I don't know, it's just tough. It seems like now the crop of guys coming in are working guys with the same amount of experience, and that's tough because they don't really have anyone to learn from. Even when Haas and Benjamin first came in, they'd been working in OVW for a little while, but they got thrown right in with Benoit and I, and that was good for them because now they're working with two experienced guys, so we could kind of help them get comfortable. And maybe that's the best formula for success for new guys coming in, is to get in there with some guys who are established, that the fans have an investment in and react to, so that way they automatically react to the new guys too.
Edge, let me ask you this. When you left, the brand extension was on, but it wasn't really developed yet. No one really understood it. Now, when you look at it, it's full on. You got Raw fans, you got SmackDown fans. Where would you rather go back now? Would you rather go back to SmackDown or maybe go to Raw?
I don't know. You know what? I've thought about it a lot, and it's still tough to come to a conclusion because there's so many guys. I look at the rosters and who I'd like to work. I've never done a singles program with Undertaker, and I'd love to because I just know what him and I could do together. Never done a singles program with Brock Lesnar, and I know what him and I have done on house shows. I mean, it's pretty well documented what I've done with Eddie and Kurt and Chris Benoit and guys like that. But then I look at the Raw side, and I see a guy like Chris Jericho, and we never really got to fully do our program the way it needed to be done. And we're both a little perturbed at that at the time. So I think I'd really like to do something there, and I'd be chomping at the bit to get my hands on Christian now, too. It just there's a lot of guys over there, too, Triple H, and it'd be great to get in there with Shawn Michaels. He was one of my heroes growing up, so it'd be awesome to get in there with him. So, I mean, honestly, I just want to go where I can help, where it feels that I'm needed the most. I'd like to go there.
Cool. Right on. Let's go back to the phones now. This is John calling from New Jersey. John, you're on the phone with Edge.
What's up, Edge?
How you doing, John?
Yeah, I just want to know, since you're a Canadian wrestler,
yep.
I want to hear your thoughts on Stu Hart's death.
Well, obviously, it's a tragedy. But at the same time, Stu was 88 years old, lived a very full life. And I went to the funeral, and the cool part about it, if you can say that about a funeral, is that it was almost like a celebration. There was probably more laughs had that day than there were tears. And there was a mixture of both, don't get me wrong, but you had Brett get up there and tell amazing stories, and you're laughing so hard you're actually crying. So it was a fitting tribute to a guy like that, because, I've said it over the last few weeks, there's very few guys in our industry who every one of the boys has an impersonation of. And you can go all the way down the line, even to the new guys, and they'll try an impersonation of Stu Hart. So he definitely has a legacy left a mark, and especially being Canadian, kind of being weaned on Stampede Wrestling growing up, it was definitely a huge influence.
Cool. Let's keep the phone calls rolling because they are. Please welcome Rebecca from Connecticut. Rebecca, you're on the phone with Edge.
Hi.
First, I just want to say happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you very much.
Did you have a good birthday?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I went to Busch Gardens Hallow Scream and hit all the haunted houses.
That's good. I'm a huge fan, and this is just so great to talk to you. I was just wondering, who was the first superstar to call you after your surgery, and what did that mean to you?
Oh, wow, who was the first? I actually couldn't really speak too well at first because I didn't realize the extent of what they do to your throat with this surgery, because they go in and they have to move your throat over like 2 inches. And at the time when they told me that, I didn't think it was a big deal. And then afterwards, when I couldn't really talk, I went, well, 2 inches, that's a lot to move your throat. So I kind of just, everybody called. I can't remember who exactly the first one was. I mean, Benoit called me, and Ray called me, and, Vince called me, and Christian obviously called me, and Lance called me, and Jericho called me. And, I mean, pretty much on down the line, everybody called me. And, but I remember talking to Steve Austin, and this is his nugget of advice. He said, drink beer this year. So I took him up on it. I've had a few beers this year.
A few concerts this year too, huh?
Yeah, quite a few actually. I'm going to Slayer this weekend, so that's my latest.
Slayer?
Yeah. You want to come, Josh?
I'm not a really big Slayer fan.
I can't see you there, man. They tear you apart.
Yeah, probably. Well, Troy of Calgary, Alberta wants to know who your favorite rock band is, Edge.
Yikes. Tough to narrow it down to just one. Faith No More is always at the top of the list. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Metallica, Foo Fighters, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam. I mean, it's just a whole bunch.
Do you like Limp Bizkit?
Build a Bridge is this year's official Survivor Series theme song.
Cool.
From Limp Bizkit.
Well, hey, how about this then? What if we go to Genesis?
Do you know where Survivor Series is? This is a
whole.
This is a whole segue I got going on here.
You're great, Josh.
Build a Bridge by Survivor Series,
Yes.
and our next call is from a girl who lives in Dallas, the site of Survivor
Survivor Series.
Yeah.
You like that, Edge?
That was a good segue.
Thank you very much.
Great.
So, Jennifer, you're on the phone with Edge.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Happy to be talking to you instead of working. My question was, I wanted to know what changes you see for your character, if any, when you do your comeback.
I sat there and I beat myself over the head with that, and I don't know. I really don't know. There's some subtle changes I'd like to make. I'd like to change the design of my outfit, but then I think, do I lose the trench coat? Do I get new music? Do I cut off my hair? But I always said if I cut off my hair, I want to do it as part of an angle so that a heel could get some heat out of it, rather than just show up one week and, hey, it's all gone. I don't know. I think if anything, I just need to get more layers to my character. I need to get more of an opportunity to speak. During my last little run there on SmackDown, it was great, and I'd get in and have 20, 25-minute matches every week. But I didn't get an opportunity to cut any promos. So it became kind of a one-dimensional, rah-rah, babyface character, and I need to add more layers, a little bit more intensity, a little bit more humor again, because I've had an opportunity this year to go back and watch some of my stuff with Booker T and Kurt, and it was fun. So I'd like to get back to doing some of that stuff, too.
You know, you didn't get to cut any promos, but you did get to cut Kurt's hair.
That I did, and it still hasn't grown back, right?
No, not yet.
Very nice. Hey, let me ask you something real quick. This is more or less a don't try this at home edition of Bite This. Is there anything that...
Scotty was on, too, right?
Well, what's it? Yeah, Scotty was on, too.
Yeah.
Could you give us... You know, Josh is sitting here trying to be a smartass. Could you give us your views on not trying these things at home and what the kids of today need to do to try and prolong their career?
Well, you know, even just like from the extent of people trying to get into the business, I always get emails to my column saying, you know, people backyard wrestle and this and that, and I honestly hate that. I think that's one of the stupidest things you can do. I know the Hardys trained on a trampoline and did their thing, but to me, the way to get started in this industry is to get trained properly. And I've been lucky. I mean, I got trained by Sweet Daddy Seeker and Ron Hutchison, and then from there I did some training with Bret Hart and Leo Burke, and then from there some with Dory Funk and you, Dr. Tom. And
Dory broke you in. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm here all night. Go ahead. Anyway.
But to me, that's the most important thing. And when it comes to taking risks, you know, for instance, right before you guys called, I was watching Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA in an I Quit match, a cage match, and I just watched it, and the difference then to now, how much you could get out of selling a punch then as opposed to like 8 punches in a row and shooting a guy off the ropes now. I think there needs to go, it needs to go back to that, and I'm as guilty as anybody of that too. So I'm not saying, you know, I'm an old school worker or anything, but I think we need to kind of watch guys like Taker, who get a lot of mileage out of what they do, and try and move back to that a little bit without trying to alienate the audience too much, because they are used to a faster pace now. But when I come back, will I be doing TLCs? I doubt it. Will I be doing spears off of 20-foot ladders? I doubt it. Hopefully not taking, 800 German suplexes, which I did in the last year before I got hurt. So I think it's a matter of working smarter, and that's what I need to do.
Very good.
But how does that happen? I mean, how do you re-educate we re-educated the fans maybe 3-4 years ago into this new speed, this new pace, this, heart-stopping action, and now it's almost like, I don't think it's taken a step back, because I think everything goes in circles.
It does, but even though if you were to watch, let's say Dude Love and Steve Austin from '98, they just worked it smarter then. It wasn't. It was a different style, right. And I think you need to find a happy medium between the two, because I definitely enjoy watching Rey Mysterio. I think he's awesome, and he really blends high flying with selling and making sure his forearms are in there. And the match he had with Tajiri at the last pay-per-view, I thought was great. They actually told a story. They worked body parts, and I think that's what you have to get back to. And also, if you're in a 20-minute match, don't forget that let's say your arm was worked on in the first 5 minutes of it. So it's just little things that with so many new guys, it also comes with experience. And that's why I said maybe you have guys like Ray, who's been around for a while, and Benoit in there with the younger guys, and kind of remind them in case they forget.
Right. Well, Edge, if we could change gears real quick, we got an email here from Fern of Somerset, England. And Fern heard a rumor that you might be in the new Batman film. Is that true?
I keep hearing that rumor too, but since I haven't been contacted, I'm guessing it's not true.
Well,
and I don't have an agent, and I've never, really made any calls out, any calls out to Hollywood. So I'm kind of content to do the wrestling thing and just try and get back in shape. I mean, if it were true, cool, but I'm guessing no. And I also heard that I was playing the part of Egghead, which I thought was pretty funny and close to Edgehead. And I have a pretty odd-shaped cranium, too, so maybe that's where the rumor started.
Very nice.
But you'd like to play Batman, though, right, Ed? You're a big comic book guy. It'd be cool for you, huh, to be Batman?
It'd be very cool to beat the hell out of Batman, but, I'd rather go back and start beating the hell out of, Chris Jericho.
Okay. Let's go back to another email. This is Matt of Elmsford, New York. How did you come up with the name Sexton Hardcastle?
It was actually, that one started in high school, and a buddy of mine who now wrestles as Sin was the original Sexton Hardcastle, and he came up with the name. It was from the TV, I'm aging myself here, but the TV series Hardcastle and McCormick. So he took that and for some reason dug the name Sexton, blended the two together, and I thought it was the most ridiculous, cool-sounding name I'd ever heard. So when I started, after I went through my Adam Impact babyface phase and I turned heel on the indies, I started using Sexton Hardcastle.
You come up with the name Josh Matthews.
Yeah, where did you come up with that one?
They just told me that's what it's going to be. And I said, okay. But anyway, enough about me. Edge, we got another email question here. And you're one of the most decorated tag team wrestlers in the WWE history. So this email question here is, what do you think about the current tag teams as of right now? That's from Lisa of Buffalo, New York.
Okay, Lisa of Buffalo. I actually, my last column was on some of the tag teams of today and yesteryear and things like that. I really like Koss and Benjamin. I like the way they pick a body part and tell a nice story. They need to add a layer to their characters that I'm sure will come with time, and you can tell they're comfortable now. At first, maybe they weren't, but they are now, and it shows. I think the Bashams could be really good, and I think there's a good core of guys, of teams now, and it's young guys too, which is kind of the same thing that happened with the Hardys and Christian and myself. We're 4 young guys who decided, okay, the tag team route is the best way for us to get noticed, and then from there we can branch out. Those are 2 teams that stick out for me. I mean, you have the Guerreros too. I think there's some good teams out there. I don't think the onus is on tag team the way it was when I grew up watching, and you had, the British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, the Rockers, the Brainbusters, just so many great teams. And I'd like to think that the Dudleys, Hardys, Edge and Christian, Too Cool and APA kind of brought that back. And now it seems to be going through a little bit of a funk again, but I think there's good enough teams that maybe they can bring it back.
Yeah, Edge, have you got a chance to see the team of Spanky and Paul London? I mean, these guys have only teamed up on Velocity, and they seem to be kind of the same style that you and Christian had and that the Hardy Boys had.
Yeah, well, I've seen both of them work in singles. I've never actually seen them team. But I'm a big fan of Spanky. I can't say I've seen as much of Paul as I have of Spanky, but actually I always thought it'd be fun to team with Spanky. It'd be like my little brother.
Yes,
my little brother.
Very cool. Hey, let me ask you this. How important has the education column been for you, keeping in touch with the fans while you've been away? I mean, what happens to the column once you return? Are you going to keep doing it?
I don't know. I'm going to have to play that by ear because I always wanted to do something like that because I thought it'd be a cool little interactive way just to get feedback. Even just, I've gotten feedback this year, should I change my music? What should I change when I come back? Because the fans are the people that pay to see what we do. And if they don't like what I'm doing, then I want to know. And if they think I should change something, then I want to know. And usually the feedback's pretty much all the same. You get a few people here and there who disagree with the majority, but you're always going to get that. So it's been really nice. It's been cool. It's been fun because, I'll hop on there, every couple of days and have a whole bunch of emails and try and return them. Try and get most of them returned. Sometimes it's tough, but it's been really fun just to keep that channel open with the people.
Well, Ed, speaking of writing, segue, there's rumor has it that you're writing your own autobiography. Comment on that?
That is true. I've actually found out that the release date will be next October. So I'm in the midst of when I first got hurt right after the surgery, I was sitting up on my couch, and I thought, well, I might as well write. So I took a journal and I just wrote everything. No real little funny stories in there, just straight facts, boom, straight through my whole life. Now I've gone back through it and just added to it, kind of edited it myself and thrown in some funny little analogies and things like that. And I've got about 20 chapters done now. And I'm proud of it, actually. I've read it back, and I'm really proud of it. And I've got Lance to read it and Jericho to read it and Christian to read it. And they actually were laughing out loud. So hopefully, I always wanted to do it and basically just wanted people to have fun when they read it. I really enjoyed Mix, and he was the only guy to actually write his own. And I know there's going to be those comparisons. And that's going to be a tough comparison. I don't expect to live up to it. But if people can just pick it up, read it, and be entertained, that's pretty much all I'm going for.
There you go, and I'm sure we'll keep everyone updated on that on WWE.com, and I'm sure, Ed, you'll keep everyone updated on your column as well. And we just want to thank you for joining us here on this Thursday afternoon on Bite This, and I know that all the WWE fans are looking forward to seeing you back wherever you may wind up, Raw or SmackDown, as soon as possible.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back.
Okay,
can't wait.
Thanks a lot, Edge.
All right, take care, guys.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. It's my new goodbye.
Yeah, I can hardly wait to say goodbye to me.
Tonight on SmackDown, John Cena takes on Rey Mysterio for the first time ever. The Big Show takes on Bradshaw. Eddie Guerrero versus the Basham Brothers in a handicap match. Should Eddie Guerrero win per order of SmackDown General Manager Paul Heyman? Then next week on SmackDown, Eddie Guerrero and his nephew Chavo will get a shot at the Basham Brothers for the WWE Tag Team Championship. So a lot on the line for Eddie tonight, who's been in a big-time slump throughout the month of October.
Well, it seems like Paul Heyman is trying to make Eddie Guerrero's life a living hell, as he is trying to do most of the SmackDown talent right now. And Eddie's gone through some personal crises in his life, and I hope he gets past this one tonight.
But first, you look at what happened to Eddie Guerrero. First, he got his lowrider destroyed nearly himself. Then he lost to the Big Show, losing the United States Championship at No Mercy. Then Eddie and Chavo lost the WWE Tag Team titles the very next SmackDown to the Basham. So hopefully, Eddie can turn things around for himself tonight on SmackDown. Make sure you tune in. Already announced for Survivor Series, which is just, 10 days away? 10 days from today, Survivor Series live from the Big D, Dallas, Texas. Your home state, Dallas. The World Heavyweight Championship.
My home state, Dallas?
Texas. The World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Goldberg versus Triple H. SmackDown brings to you The Undertaker versus Mr. McMahon in a Buried Alive match. The final encounter ambulance match.
Yeah,
Shane
that
McMahon
could be a
versus
three-way to
Kane.
put you in there.
Women's Championship. Molly Holly versus Lita.
Oh, no, that should be the three-way.
Classic Survivor Series matchup. Stone Cold's team versus Bischoff's team.
Yeah.
And you have another classic Survivor Series elimination match, Team Angle versus Team Lesnar. So Survivor Series is going to be off the
You
hook.
know what? I am looking forward to Survivor Series, not only because it's going to be in Dallas, Texas, but you have the most combustible elements right now. Not only, Josh?
Yeah, I'm listening.
You know what? Next week when Bradshaw's here, you're going to have a long hour.
Okay, well, next week, Hardcore Holly... Oh, he doesn't like me either.
No.
Okay. I might be sick next Thursday.
Farouk and special guest.
Farouk's okay. Farouk, Farouk likes me.
Farouk,
he does. We talk about...
as long as you don't get in his way and don't steal his food and beer, man,
yeah.
he's good.
You know, me and Farouk get along. We talk about Florida State football.
Yeah.
And did you know his jersey was retired in Florida
Yes,
State?
I
We're going
do
to talk
know
all about
that.
that next week with Farouk and Hardcore Holly. I don't know what we're going to talk about with him. And Bradshaw will be sitting in
I know
Dr.
exactly what
Tom's
you're
chair.
talking about with him.
I'm looking forward to next week.
I gotta
We'll
call
see
him
you
Bob
all
in
on
right
Bite
now.
This. Goodbye.
How dare you try to go against the glorious hun? I slaughter you, son, it's over, the story is done. You could be number 2, but I'm second to none. But you forgot Queen B's the notorious one.
Baby, 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 I'm the creme de la creme, so you can never play me. See, I'm more than a lady, I'm more than a lover, more than an affair. Please try and understand that I'ma stay at the top, cause I don't give a damn.
I don't care what y'all say, I'ma keep doing me. Can't fade me.
Whoa, it's time to rock and roll. This time I'm in control. Right now I own the streets. I got the keys to the city. That's cause I get down. Time to rock and roll. This time I'm in control. Right now I own the streets. I got the keys to the city. That's cause I get down. It's time to rock and roll.